Publius Licinius Crassus was pretty good, and of course Pompey Magnus, and then there was Marcus Servilius, although he... Huh? Oh, consoles! Well, that's very different. Stay tuned as Filter counts down your top 10 favorite game consoles. Filter, your once weekly walk through a wonderland of the weird, the wild, and alliteration that just doesn't quite pan out. I'm Diane Mizotis, sworn to protect the secrets of the sacred filterator at G4TV.com, and tonight we salute the greatest game consoles of all time. From palm-sized portables to butt-widening tabletop models, these are the machines for the games people played. Admit it, fanboy, you've spent innumerable hours charting out the points and counterpoints for your favorite home console. So whether you cling to your fledgling 32X or kiss the big N's hiney, everyone has their beloved joy maker. That's why this week we're counting down the best console ever. Rounding out the list is your number 10 pick, the Sega Genesis. Before the Xbox and PS2 duked it out for console supremacy, Sega enlisted the help of a speedy blue hedgehog to bring the 16-bit fight to a certain mushroom-eating plumber.
The Genesis had a lot of games on there that the Super Nintendo just didn't have that were really good games. You had your Altered Beast, you had your Golden Axe, and it was the first time that we had ever seen those on a home console where they were pretty much arcade perfect.
Michael! Sega may have peaked with the Genesis, but at least Sonic proves there is life after console. Your number 9 pick, the Game Boy, revolutionized the way we play games on the go, on the road, and, on the toilet. Not that a respectable TV host like myself would ever do such a vulgar thing. Honestly.
The cool thing about the Game Boy is that if you were such a big stoner that you couldn't get your Tetris fix by playing it on your TV, is that you could actually take your Tetris fix and take it with you with the Game Boy. So you'd see a lot of dudes just really, really spaced out, sitting there like this for hours and hours and hours playing their Game Boy.
With a plethora of amazing titles on this portable wonderkind, you could literally spend an eternity on the crapper. Again, let me stress, not that I would know this. Number 8's PlayStation 1 ditched the dusty cartridge for the high-tech compact disc, expanding the potential of games with flashy full-motion videos and CD-quality sound. But then again, it also brought about a feature that isn't so highly regarded, load times. I said load.
I think the reason that the PlayStation, and thus the PlayStation 2, has been just so wildly successful is that Sony was smart in signing up a lot of top-notch games to be exclusive. If you wanted to play a lot of the Resident Evil games, or the Tomb Raider games, Final Fantasy, Wipeout, all kinds of games like that, you had to have a PlayStation.
Looking back at the PS1's catalog is a who's who in gaming. Like, remember when Solid Snake snapped his first neck? Why, it seems like it was just yesterday. Now dab away those nostalgic tears for the PS1 games of your youth. Nothing lasts forever, which is why you're always out shopping for the coolest new movies, music, and DVDs. So yo, check this out. As we all know, there can never be enough reality-bending mind thrillers. But just make sure they're rated R, like the new movie Stay, starring Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts.
I want to know what's going on. You know the future. Help you. I need some answers. What happened to your parents?
First, The Following, then he follows up with Memento, then again with Insomnia, and now he saves the Batman franchise. All hail Christopher Nolan and go buy Batman Begins, out on DVD.
Falcone sent them to kill you.
Why?
You rattled his cage.
Who are you?
Someone like you. Someone who'll rattle the cages.
In Shop Girl, Claire Danes plays Mirabelle. As a disenchanted sales clerk and struggling artist, she's forced to choose between a penniless musician played by Jason Schwartzman and a divorced millionaire played by Steve Martin. Well, excuse me.
Where do you work?
You know Holy Dog Amplifiers?
I did the logo. I'll show you. These like some fonts that I did. This is my favorite one. I've called this font Los Angeles. I'm an okay guy, by the way.
You didn't have to tell me that.
I didn't. How come?
Because I'm a really poor judge of character.
The Triforce is reborn. No, I'm not talking about the next Zelda game. I'm talking about the old school cartoon, The Legend of Zelda, the complete animated series. Now you'll get to relive your child nerd memories from 1989.
Nice job, hero.
Hey, excuse me, princess. Well, excuse me, princess. Ta-da! Saved your life again. Kiss me.
Did it offer the coolest features? Did it have the most titles available? Was it the only one you could afford at the time? Who knows why you chose the console you did? All I know is that you voted for them, and you'll have to live with that choice when Filter's countdown of your favorite game consoles continues after this.
Check this out.
Are the games we play more than just games?
Violent entertainment is a public health hazard.
Or are they just an easy target?
The doom caused these kids to go out there and commit these horrific crimes is pretty absurd.
The issue that may change what you play forever. Violence in Games, a G4 special report. Tonight at 11, only on G4.
Welcome back to Filter's delicately sautéed salute to your favorite video game consoles. Now, think of a number between 1 and 10. Put it back in the deck. If you said GBA SP, you're right! That's number 7 in our console countdown. 14 years ago, if I told you one day you'll achieve the joys of The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past anywhere you'd like, even in the comforts of a porta potty, you'd send me to the nearest mental institution. But thanks to the Game Boy Advance, I'm not hanging with the loonies. The souped-up iteration Game Boy Advance SP is your number 7 choice.
The Game Boy SP, it's backlit, it's rechargeable. I mean, it's everything that Nintendo fans wanted from the Game Boy that they weren't able to give to them at the time because we didn't have the technology.
Sure, the Dreamcast was Sega's last hurrah in the console arena, but it still left beautiful memories in the hearts of many gamers. With games like Soul Calibur, Shenmue, and Skies of Arcadia, nostalgia alone make it your number 6 choice.
I think the Sega Dreamcast was, in a way, too far ahead of its time. It had a very rudimentary online service you could use. It had a really nice controller that had a view screen, so if you were playing a football game against somebody, you could do your plays on that little view screen so they couldn't see them.
Let me tell you, if I had my way, the Dreamcast would still be around and ruling the world. Xbox, Xbox, Xbox. First, you're really ugly. Second, you're the size of John Walsh. Third, your controllers barely fit in my cute little hands. But I guess you do have Halo, making it your number 5 choice.
First came out, graphics were just so ill, it wasn't even funny. It's like the best graphics. That combined with the hard drive was just a bonus. That way I didn't have to keep loading and unloading like I did on on my PlayStation. And it was just instantaneous. It loaded up, the graphics were great, and I got to play Halo.
Wow, just the sound of that makes me want to throw a sticky on an Elite, fire a couple of rounds at the Jackals, and stick an energy sword up the stupid prophet's butt. Perception, that sleek little white iBook would look really cool under your arm. Reality, you probably can't afford it. So, how about its PC doppelganger from a Veritech? Before you peel off the green for the little white notebook, check in with Han Choi from G4 TV Labs in this week's Tech Toss-Up.
So you're on a budget, around $1,000, and you want a lightweight notebook? Well, here's 2. This is the Apple iBook. It's a 12-inch screen version. It comes with a pretty beefy set of specs. You got 512 megabytes of memory, 40 gig hard drive, integrated wireless, integrated Bluetooth, and a DVD CDRW combo drive. So you can actually burn CDs, but just watch DVDs. But the most important thing is the software, and the iBook comes with quite a lot. You get iLife, which includes iMovie for video editing, GarageBand for audio editing, and for productivity, you get AppleWorks, which is a word processor spreadsheet, plus you get Quicken 2005. So the entire package is pretty impressive. So if you're looking to pick up the Apple iBook, it'll cost you $1,000. This is a Veritech 3700 series. It's a Windows-based notebook. It's got 512 megabytes of memory, a big 60 gig hard drive. It's got integrated wireless, a DVD CDRW combo drive, and it's got 4.1 media reader on the side. The system fan tends to be kind of loud when it kicks on, and the software load is, well, pathetic. All you get is a video editing application and Norton antivirus that lasts for 3 months. If you're looking to pick up the Veritech 3700 series, it'll cost you $1,000. When you're on a budget, the last thing you want to do is have to spend hundreds of dollars on software to make a notebook useful. That's where the iBook shines. You get everything you need to make it useful out of the box, and that's why this is the one to buy.
The Filterator at G4TV.com was such a gas guzzler. It's so much more efficient and environmentally friendly since we converted to biodiesel. Unfortunately, the whole place smells like French fries now. And speaking of smells, here's tech reporter John Walsh with another greasy handful of web favorites in this week's Net to Know.
Dear Kevin Federline, congratulations. However, I am 348% sure I am that baby daddy. At number 3 this week, Battlestar Galactica, Babylon 5, Xena Warrior Princess. Sure, there's something about sci-fi and fantasy TV shows that makes them ripe fodder for amateur storytellers. But Andy Griffith's show fan fiction? Caroline in the City? House MD is only in its 2nd season on Fox, and it's already got 654 stories about it at fanfiction.net. How does this happen? And more to the point, why? At number 2, sure, Xbox Live's Halo multiplayer space might look forbidding with its rugged terrain and sniper blinds, but as the kids in Clan Hollywood Halo found out to their great relief, there are no lockers for them to get stuffed into at recess. And at number 1, Kali Yuga, the time of iniquity and darkness is coming. Shiva, Nataraja, and Kali will perform together the last steps of the Tandava, the great cosmic dance which creates and destroys the world. Okay, not really. But Greek and Roman deities have been hogging the RPG action for too long now. Peace out to my Vedic homies in the Mahabharata, yo. Check out Kali Yuga, the mythic Hindu RPG, at the game creator's homepage, even though technically that might be blasphemy depending on where you live. And that, America, is all you need to know. Namaste.
What good are your favorite sites doing anybody if they just sit there all alone in your browser cache? Tie them up with a bow and send them off to nettoknow at G4TV.com. Stay tuned for something old and something new as Filter's classic console countdown continues right after this.
Best console of all time, I'd have to say, would be PlayStation 1. Xbox is one of the greatest systems ever made. Look at it, and it's like, sure, it's heavy, and it's ugly, and, you know, the color's kind of weird, but other than that, it's a perfect system. It's capable, you know, it has a lot of capability, almost like a small computer, if you could think about it. PlayStation 2, because it's the easiest to handle. The directions are right there when you turn it on, and everything comes up. It's real easy. Who plays the GameCube, honestly? Come on.
For more Filter, are ya? Well, good, because we haven't finished counting down your favorite video game consoles. It seems that sentimental favorites dominate your top 10 so far. I never saw this side of you before, but I like it. Do I really need to explain your number 4 pick, the PlayStation 2? It's only the best-selling system home console responsible for more amazing games than years in your life. But in case you're gaming illiterate, I'll clue you in on a little rare industry fact. It's the successor to PlayStation 1.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's, out of all the home gaming systems that are out right now, it sold the most. And I remember the big PlayStation 2 Christmas scare where everybody wanted one because they were so popular and they were so cool and they were sold out everywhere and nobody could get one.
The PlayStation 2 is by far the best PlayStation system ever. Well, at least until PlayStation 3 comes out. You know what's scary? Without the NES, I wouldn't have a job. And well, you'd probably have a girlfriend. But I think we can both agree we're thankful Nintendo's first game console made your number 3 pick.
The Nintendo Entertainment System is significant because it was sort of the first system to come out in a time when video games were sort of out of vogue. But, you know, it definitely found an audience of people who, even now, are still dedicated to Nintendo.
With all its great accomplishments, Nintendo likes to forget the NES was also responsible for thousands of asthmatics left breathless trying to get their games to work. Some games are just too damn much for any console, no matter how cool. That's when Hollywood comes along and usually screws up your favorite game with a big screen adaptation. John Walsh got close enough to cook what The Rock was smelling at the LA premiere of Doom.
With all these wars and natural disasters, I think I'm getting bird flu. We're doomed. Maybe a movie will cheer me up. I wonder what's playing tonight. Oh, perfect. This week I'm rocking the MDA for T-Mobile with a full suite of Windows apps and a fold-out QWERTY keyboard. Destroyer, is that your name or a job title?
Job title.
Oh, really? Okay. So it's not like Mr. Destroyer?
Mrs.
Well, hello. You heard it here first. Do you think we're doomed as a species?
To a certain extent, absolutely.
I'm worried. Yeah. Seriously worried. I mean, look at the chickens. They're all dying.
Right.
The chickens are all dying. You know why? They're all cooped up. We're all living next to each other, and that's what we're doing as humans.
It's true.
Next step.
We gotta get out of here now.
What can we do to turn that around?
Have better fashion.
I'm going to use my T-Mobile MDA to go online and figure out who the hell that was. Do you think we're doomed as a race? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just going along until we finally sort of blow ourselves up, or like lemmings.
I think that we're going to change our ways. We're going to get together.
Wow. That's so sweet. The Destroyer is just such a sweetheart. Hey, can I get a quick photo op with my new T-Mobile MDA?
T-Mobile?
Do you think we're doomed, Jill?
Well, considering the rain and the hail we had today, and
exactly.
Yeah, it really makes one wonder.
The bird flu? I have bird
flu.
Not to give too much away, but when do you die?
Wow. You went straight there. Yo.
My producer Matt wants to know if you would marry him.
I'm actually married. But I'll see how it goes.
In Hollywood, until they say no like 4 or 5 times, they haven't really said no. I got this new handheld from T-Mobile. It's called the MDA. Yeah, I got love from Duke. Hey, Tom Arnold.
What's up, guys?
He doesn't know me. This movie's gonna make a hell of a video game. What do you think?
I don't know. You think it'll have the legs?
You touched my dong.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Interesting choice, though, to make this a romantic comedy.
It was interesting, right? I figured that I needed that, and I wanted to see between myself and the Baron or the Imp. I just wanted that love story.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic. You know, they were great kissers too, by the way.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Great ass on the Imp.
If you don't have a love interest with your monster, the film goes really flat after 5 minutes.
Do monsters always have the best asses, or what?
It's amazing.
Swamp Thing, you could bounce a quarter off that butt.
It's amazing. Yeah. You should see it. And what's amazing, they got 2 sets of genitalia too. They're really funny. Yeah.
My producer Matt, furthest thing from gay, but he totally wants to hop the fence for you. Gonna call him on this T-Mobile MDA. And that's it from the premiere of Doom in theaters here and there.
The console countdown's getting close. Can you stand the excitement? Okay, I know this doesn't really matter, but humor me, will you? Stay tuned for our countdown conclusion right after this week's top music downloads from Dentine Ice. This week, we're linking into MusicNet's top music downloads. Alicia Keys is Usher's Boo at the 5th spot, and Nelly's doing it over and over at 4th. Mario really wants you to let him love you, he's 3rd. Kelly's Not Gone Yet, Since You've Been Gone is number 2. And Green Day kicks it on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. They're number 1 this week.
On the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Welcome to this week's Game Before the Game, presented by Snickers, where we simulate this week's Monday night matchup, the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Smash Mouth Football 101. Class is now in session. Willie Parker over right end for 12. Parker over the left side for 20 more, which opens up the passing game for Big Ben, who has all day to find Antoine Randall for this 18-yard TD, 7-0 Pittsburgh. Just before the half, Ravens QB Anthony Wright hooks up with rookie Mark Clayton on this 17-yard TD. Ravens stay close, 10-7. Moving ahead to the 4th, Steelers up 13-10. Anthony Wright, doing his best Elway impression, converts this 3rd and 4 to Clayton, who gets loose on the sideline. Another crucial 3rd down. Another completion to Clayton. 13 seconds left. The Ravens going for the win. Jamal Lewis rumbles in to give Baltimore a surprise W on the road. For 50 second-half yards and the game-winning score, Lewis is this week's Snickers' hungriest player. See you next week on The Game Before the Game.
A show that made it okay to consider girls on a trampoline a spectator sport.
The show that made it okay to laugh at a midget just because he's a midget. Gentlemen, it's okay to be a man again.
Blast away!
The Man Show is back tonight at 10 p.m. on G4. Need a late-night snack? Try barbed wire biscuit. Blow stuff up and learn about science with Brainiac. Get sick and twisted with the Happy Tree Friends and Friends. And sample the best eye candy from Japan with Anime Unleashed and Cinematech Nocturnal Emissions. Taste the party. Barbed wire biscuit. Tonight at midnight.
Let's check out the new releases for this week. What's this? A game based on a movie from the 70s? Geez, what's next? A Jaws game? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The Warriors riot into stores October 18th. Welcome back to the conclusion of Filter's countdown of the cream of the console crop. Here's how your votes have tallied so far. No, Phil Collins did not work for Sega, but the Genesis is at number 10. The first gender-specific handheld game console, the Game Boy, takes it on the road at number 9. If you need a station for your playing, try number 8's PlayStation. You've already bought this system, twice. The Game Boy Advance SP is in 7th. Hey, they still have it in Japan. It must be good. Sega's Dreamcast is 6th. In America, we can make consoles as big as we want, so take that, little sissy consoles. Xbox is 5th. I'm duly shocked that PlayStation 2 is stationed at number 4. If your NES still works without having to blow on the cartridge, slam it into the slot, and push reset repeatedly, I'm impressed. It's 3rd. I had hoped it wouldn't come down to this, but this is your show. It's your votes that pit brother against brother, as Nintendo's Super NES and N64 gird their loins for a fratricidal filter face-off. All bow to the power of Nintendo as you, the viewers, decided mushrooms and Italian plumbers are the zenith in the history of gaming. As we all know, the N64 is the last great home console to use cartridges. But the honor and pride of the N64 isn't just about being the first 64-bit console. Oh no!
A lot of those old Nintendo titles, they just kept them strong on the Nintendo 64, and I think that's probably what made it, one of the most successful consoles.
The Super NES certainly isn't shabby in the games lineup department with titles like Super Mario World and Star Fox, but the real reason the Super NES has made it so far up the filter chain is because of its legacy, the console we grew up knowing as our best friend.
There was just something about the Super Nintendo that inspired game makers to make some really great games.
So, what will it be, the 64-bit gaming age or your best friend from the adolescent years? What can I say? Super Mario 64, Super Mario Kart 64, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Super Smash Bros., and GoldenEye sounds like the winner was decided before we even started.
All of these games were really, really good games for the time because they were fun to play. It was like really the first console to introduce the whole multiplayer aspect because a lot of the games were, 4 players.
I'll have to say, I'm so proud of you people. Looks like you really hit the gaming history books hard and gave it your all. And that's it for another edition of Filter. Congrats to our winner, and for the runners-up, we have some wonderful consolation prizes. Yeah, don't write it. Tune in next week for a Halloween treat as we count down the goriest games. Until then, I'm Diane Mizota, urging you to follow your Dreamcast.